There's a bar for sale, Frank's Place. Every small business is going out of business. I don't care what Donald Trump says. That's one of my favorite paintings. I love that painting. People are going, small businesses are going out of business. So you can just code it over and say it's not happening, but everywhere I go, small businesses. Go to Newport, like 10 of the stores are closed in Old Town Newport. You go to Florence here, they're not doing very well down there. They got stores in, but they're not doing good at all. Nobody's buying that stuff. The only buddy doing good down there is restaurants that have been there for quite a while. You go to Coos Bay, downtown Coos Bay, there's like 20 empty stores down around there. You can say, well, that's because of Joe Biden. Well, you could take it all the way back to Richard Nixon, who took us off the gold standard and started destroying America slowly. I mean, you can go back a long ways. I'm a Christian, but I do like capitalism, but capitalism hasn't worked that well in my lifetime. I like the idea of capitalism. Look at that old barn. I like the idea of capitalism, but the reality is it doesn't work that well. It doesn't work like it was designed. It was designed to work. Now it doesn't. So I'll just stop talking about this stuff and enjoy the drive here. I want to drive on the other side, the east side, well, the south side of the river, I guess you could say. Or east, or however, it depends on which direction the river's going. This is how you go back to Sweet Creek Falls, but it's like 10 miles. I'm not going to go back there, so. We'll go up here and find a place to sit by the river. I went in that store to get a couple pieces of chicken. I said, I'd like 2 pieces of chicken, please. He says, dark or white? So, you know, I'm an American, and I say, give me 1 of each. Shakes his head. No can do. No mix. No mix. No mix on chicken. Said, no mix, huh? I said, you can't mix 1 dark and 1 white in there? Oh, I gotta laugh, you know. No mix. He says, no mix on chicken. He's a real nice guy. He came from India or Pakistan or something. He bought that place like 8 years ago or something. And the reason, you know, they work 80 hours a week. They work 11 hours a day, 7 days a week. And he's look at how beautiful it is here. He's completely burnt out. Try standing behind a cash register 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, just to eventually get enough money to retire. The truth is, I don't care what kind of chicken you give me. I'm an American. Just give me a couple pieces of chicken. No mix. No mix on chicken. I said, all right, I'm going to splurge. I'll take 2 whites. I didn't argue with him. Okay, I'll take 2 white. I said, put some JoJo's in there. I feel sorry for anyone who works 12 times 7, 84 hours a week for 10 years in America, just so you can eventually become rich. Money's not worth that much. Not to me. There's the river right down there, see? I don't think money is that valuable to give up that much of your life. Look at that cool road right there. To give up this much of your life just to get more money, more houses, you know, and then you live in them. You know, the book of Ecclesiastes in the Bible is very true. It says, everything man owns is from envy of his neighbor. And I thought a long time about that. I've read that book close to 100 times. And I thought, if I lived, if you take the average person, they live completely alone on the earth, would you build a 4-bedroom house with 2 baths and a master bathroom and I mean, if you were the only person on earth, would you build a big, huge house? Would you even take the time to build a big, huge house when you're the only one that sees it? I would say, no, you don't. I don't think you would. I think you would live in a nice little log cabin house, like 2 or 3 room. You'd have a couple dogs. You'd have a garden out back, and you'd do some fishing. I believe that's how the average person would eventually live. If they were the only person here, or if there was nobody else to impress around them. It's a good debate to have with yourself. Holy smokes, look at this idiot. Wow. Passing in a no passing double yellow on a curve. He never even knew if other cars were coming. If that guy was the only person on earth, he'd just be walking. He wouldn't be in a hurry to go somewhere. That's the whole point of what it says. Everything anyone does is for envy of your neighbor. You're envious of your neighbor. You're not envious of them, you're envious of what they have. One guy buys a rifle, another guy's got to buy a shotgun. One guy gets a sports car, another guy needs a sports car. One guy gets a big barbecue grill in his backyard. By next year, the guy next door wants a barbecue grill in his backyard. One guy's making $80,000 a year, and the other guy only makes $35,000, and he's all pissed off about life. He wants to make $80,000, but he doesn't want to go to college or get any training to do it. So that's where the hatred and envy of thy neighbor come in. Look at that beautiful scene right there. That's where it all comes in. And envy of thy neighbor. You're envious of your neighbor and what your neighbor has. See this guy? he passed normal. He's not even from here. It's from, it says South Dakota or something. Probably going out to the Sweet Creek Falls.